my freshman year summer, I had a organization that I had been tutoring with. And I had been working really closely with the students and got to know a lot about them. And one of the things I learned was that they hadn't been on the train in the way that I had. They were living in what many people will say is the best city outside of Milwaukee, best city in the world, and they had only been into their neighborhoods, right, as far as their school and the church and their other family members' home. And so one day I marched into the executive director's office and I said, you know what? I want you to let me take 30 of these children between the ages of 8 and 12 on 24, get these numbers right, okay? 24 field trips over a span of 6 weeks. And to sweeten the deal, all I need from you is $500, some tokens, and, to help me provide lunch for the kids. And he looked at me, and looking back on this, I can't believe what he said. But he said, okay. I was really surprised that he, accepted this, and I knew that I had to rise to the challenge, since, of course, it was my idea. Now, for those of you who have children or who work with youth groups, you know that taking 30 children on one trip alone will cost you $500 in a snap. And so I actually had to be incredibly creative. And one day, I decided that I wanted to take my students, these young people, to a museum. It was a specialty museum, and it was extremely expensive to get in. I couldn't even afford a ticket for myself. And so I rounded up the 30 students. We got on the train. My favorite thing to do on the train was I would open the doors, and I'd say, I'm bringing in 30 kids. You better get off. And so people would head off really quick, and I'd let my kids onto the train. So we get on this train, and it's early in the morning, and I want to make sure that we are the absolute first people in the line. And that was pretty much where my plan ended. So we get down there, the children are in the line, and the security guard comes up to me, the doors are opening, and she says, may I have your ticket, please? And I lean in and I say, we don't have any tickets, and we can't afford them. And she looked at me and she said, well, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to allow you to come in. And I smiled and I said, I understand. Would you mind telling these beautiful children that? She sized up that situation pretty quickly and opened the rope and let us on through. Yeah. In that moment, I realized that you have to be bold sometimes in order to get bold things back. And I realized the principle of that, right, is that in every experience, there's a lesson.